Hey everyone, we are going to go ahead and get started. I am so pumped for tonight. We're calling it a boom Zoom. We've got about 6 of us that are going to jump on here and talk to you guys for 5 minutes or so. I just asked a few specific girls that I know always bring the fire or are killing it in their business right now. And we all have something just different that has been on our hearts that we want to share with you guys. So it might feel a little bit all over the place, but our goal is that one of us has something that you need to hear tonight, and maybe multiples of us have something that you need to hear tonight, but I truly feel like there's a reason that you showed up to this specific Zoom. So stay plugged in, stay tuned in, because I don't know what it is that you need to hear tonight, but it's going to happen in the next 30 minutes or so. So I'm going to kick it off with a few random a few random thoughts that have just popped into my head this week that I think some of you need to hear. So the first thing is, this is for the newbies. If we have any new distributors on here, let's say if you joined in the last 90 days, drop a 1 in the chat. Because to me, 90 days of a new business owner is still so new. Okay. Really, first 6 months to a year is even still such a baby in this industry. Like, look at all of those ones. You guys are all still new distributors, and some of you guys have already accomplished so much. Some of you are just getting started. So, round of applause for you guys for even showing up and plugging in for your business. But the first thing, I saw this on Instagram this week and thought it was so perfect. And it said, "Hey, new girl, it's hard because it's new, not because you suck." And I know that's like such a not a very cute way of saying it, but truly, you guys, you don't suck at this business. You're not stuck in this business. You're just new. So anyone that just dropped a 1 in the chat, and again, even if you're in your first 6 months and you feel like I'm just not good at this, or I'm not moving fast enough, or I can't do it for fill in the blank reasons, you don't suck at this business. You are just new. You're just learning. And really, in any job, in any industry, you guys, even doctors go to school for 10 years basically to have the job that they have, and they still don't feel like they're a rock star surgeon the first day they step into the operating room. You guys started with probably zero experience or very little experience, dove into an entirely new industry. So give yourselves a little bit of grace. So that's the first thing I wanted to address, the newbies that are on here. The second thing that I wanted to share with you guys, another thing that I randomly saw on Instagram, and I can share this account with you guys that I've been following that has a lot of good motivating tips for people in this industry. But the second thing, and I'm going to read it so I don't mess it up. It said, if month end is the day that you work the hardest, you're doing it wrong. And so I know as a team, we really hype up month end, like stay up late, follow up, go like a crazy person, message every person you've ever talked to, post like crazy, and all of that. And I'm not changing that advice. You should go crazy on month end. That is your last few days to boost your paychecks. But the point being, you have to work consistently all month long for your month end to even boom, for you to have the people to follow up with. So if you're someone that catches yourself often checking out for a week or two and then trying to catch up at the end of the month, you're doing it wrong. This business is built on consistency, and that's how you build a stable business. That's also how you have an organization as you grow a team that also works throughout the month, because your team's not going to check out for a week or two every month if you're not checking out for a week or two every month. So just kind of keep that in mind. Again, hustle through month ends. The best way to start off a month strong is to end a month stronger. So we want you guys to push the last few days. Don't hear me wrong. We still want you guys to show up to Zooms and stay up late and all of that. It's so important for boosting your paycheck and hitting those promotions, but show up all month long for your business. And then the very last thing I'm going to share, and I'm going to pass it off to Cassie, is that I want you guys to be thinking the long game. I think a lot of people get really excited about the instant gratification of signing customers, right? We always attract the thing that we're most confident with. And for a lot of people, they're most confident with the customer program, right? Because most of us didn't have success. Most of us don't really know how to explain things. We're not sure if we can even train a new distributor to do well. So we talk 99% about the products and 1% about the business opportunity. And then we get frustrated that we're not good at signing distributors. But all we are putting out into the universe is how amazing our products are, which is great. But if you want to become a stronger recruiter, then you have to equally or more so promote the business, the opportunity, what it's doing for your life, even those small wins along the way, earning your shopping spree, paying for your gas tank, getting diapers paid for, whatever it might be. You have to start being louder about the business opportunity if you want to start growing your organization in that way. So I'm not going to go really in depth with that tonight. We might do another training on it this week, but something Lindsay Rosenhagen and I talked about earlier today is just the first couple of weeks of April, we're going to hit it really, really hard with opportunity hacks, reels and TikToks about the opportunity, posting more about the opportunity, sharing our stories and sharing our story in our stories, and going really hard with the opportunity, because you guys, we know that a lot of times it takes more planting and harvesting for those distributors to come around. And so we tend to put it off because sometimes we'll sign customers quicker, but then again, we get frustrated by not signing distributors. So I want you guys to drop a 2 in the chat if you've ever said something like, I'm just not good at signing distributors, or I'm just not comfortable signing distributors, or I can't find people that want to sell the products. So for the month of April, we are no longer saying those things out loud or in our heads because you are manifesting that exact thing. You know, truly my business changed when someone told me that signing a distributor is no different than signing a customer. A distributor is just a customer that also wants to make money. So why are you not offering that to every single person? You're doing someone a disservice that needs this business, that needs this community, that needs the extra income, because you're not offering it. So it is no different. You're finding customers that also want to make an extra income. Think of it that way. Your business will change. Make sure you're offering it to as many people as you possibly can, knowing that if for the next 30 days you hit recruiting really hard and you dive in and you get on all the recruiting Zooms you can find on YouTube and you soak up all of the messages and all the training from your sponsor, that it might feel like it's not paying off. But signing distributors will pay off in the biggest way if you will be consistent with it and if you will master it, just like we've told you to master host to post, because loyal customers add to your business, but distributors multiply your business. You could spend the next 3 weeks working on recruiting distributors, and you might sign less customers because your focus is so distributor heavy. But guess what? You sign one distributor that goes and gets their shopping spree. They've just signed 6 customers. So it's almost as if you spent those 3 weeks signing 6 customers. Does that make sense? So I'm going to pass it off to Cassie because I already talked for a minute or two too long, and she is going to talk to you guys about urgency.
Well, first of all, thanks for speaking right to me, Alyssa. I appreciate that, because I have been focusing all of my host to posts this month pretty much on distributors. And it's hard for me because I'm used to having customer after customer after customer. And I was just saying that to Alyssa Fairman today. I was like, oh gosh, it feels very weird to not have like a million customers signing up right now. And it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but I know that it's going to be worth it in the season that we're in. So my name's Cassie. I've been in this business about 1 year and just promoted to Double Diamond last month. And this is probably my favorite topic because urgency is just so important. And I think it's something that we miss a lot. And I don't care if you joined yesterday or if you've been in a year, or if you've been in 9 years, I don't really care. There's always something to push urgency for, whether it's your shopping spree, whether it's a promotion, whether it's someone under you who's trying to promote, no matter what it is, whether it's a goal to sign 5 distributors, doesn't mean anything for a certain promotion, maybe not, but there's always a reason to create urgency, and it doesn't have to be for a promotion. So I want to tell you guys all of the, like everyone on here, that right now, that even if you are just getting started, you can create urgency, okay? And it's so important to be urgent, but also to be excited. Like not urgent, like demanding and rude with people. Like we're not trying to be like, hey, you need to order right now. To be like, oh my God, this is amazing. You need what we have to offer. You need these things. We're so excited to share this with you. Like be excited, because people are drawn to that. In your stories, when you're sharing your story about what you're doing, be excited. Because if you're talking like, hi, yeah, so I joined this business about a month, like I wouldn't join you either. Like I'm just being honest. Get out of your comfort zone, get excited. Even if you don't know what you're excited about, just be excited. Okay. Like be happy, be excited, be expectant, have the energy. You're going to attract what you're putting out there. And so if you're putting that out there, the negativity, the like, I don't know, but like that's probably what you're going to attract. And your distributors are going to step in and be like, meh, because that's what they saw. So one of the biggest things is when you're talking about this, be excited. And I think that that is what has helped me promote, is to use voice messaging. You can only be so excited through a written message. And of course, there are times that I use written messages, but there are also times where I'm like, okay, this is just too much for me to straight up just type out a message to you and tell you how excited I am about this or how insane this promotion is. Like if I type that out, that's one thing. But if I tell somebody, and I'm on the verge of tears or can't breathe or out of breath or just so excited, like they're going to sense that. And so I think that one of the biggest things is to put your goals out there with the excitement. How bad do you need these things to happen? What is your why and how hard are you pushing for that? Your audience should know that. If your audience can't identify your why when they go to your page or in your conversations, I'd question if you're putting it out there enough. If you're doing this to come home with your family, whatever you're doing this for, make it super, super clear. And when I was pushing for double last month, so if somebody, month end, people are pushing for promotions, if you're pushing for volume, I encourage you to go back to every single person that has not responded and to send a voice message, follow up with voice messages, follow up with anything that you can say to be like, hey, I know you might not have been ready for this, but like, I want to help you reach your goals. You're going to help me reach mine. Like together, we're going to reach goals this month. If I can help you, if you can just trust me to help you with your goals, I would love to be a part of this. Like people respond very well to that. And we've been talking about this. I will repeat myself like a broken record. You need to create a journey that people can follow. If somebody doesn't go to your page and know what you're doing, they don't care. But if they go to your page and they see that you're 12 orders away, I don't even care what you're selling. If I see somebody's 12 orders away, I'm probably going to want to help. People are going to respond to what you put out there. But if you're not being bold about it, they won't respond well. So even the six customer shopping spree, talk about it in your stories. Talk about how you're looking for people to try things at your cost. Talk about it with excitement and also with the belief that it will happen. I think that's what people miss. They're like, oh, I'm going to create urgency, but I don't actually think it's going to happen. Your urgency is not going to work. If you haven't decided and if you haven't put it out there that it's going to happen, then your urgency is just going to be awkward and it's going to fall flat and the results aren't going to follow. So it's so important to know and believe and to decide and then to go create the urgency with the people that you're talking to so that it actually comes through and shows up in the way that you want it to. I wrote some notes. Oh, vulnerability, I think, is so important when you're creating urgency. Like if you're not being real and raw and open about the hardships, the things that you need to get out of, the groceries that you're putting on credit cards, whatever it might be, if you're not sharing those pain points with people, the urgency won't hit as hard. But if you're sharing why you need this to work for you, why you want to get this business launched, why you want somebody on your team to promote, people are going to see that and relate and want to support you more than any other way. And so I want to encourage you guys to make sure that your why is 100% clear. If your why has changed, that's fine. Figure out what it is to put it out there, to go follow up with every single person that you've talked to about what you need, what you're pushing for, what your team wants, because this isn't the time to slow down. I joined just at this time last year. I made my first post on March 25th last year, guys, and it just showed up. And I know that I saw a boom when I didn't even know what was going on. So I can only imagine what is coming now. But a few of the tasks that I would definitely challenge you guys to do are to go back to the lists of people that you have that you've been too afraid to message. The people that you're like, yeah, go message all those people and do it with a voice message. Give them a call family and friends. If you're pushing hard for a bonus, people want to know about that. And if they say no, cool, but that you planted a seed. Next time you're pushing for a promotion, they might come around, you never know, but to be open with them and tell them what you're doing, because people don't just know if we don't talk about it. And also to reach out to people who are liking or commenting on your pictures, posts on anything, and ask them to have for you, ask them to, if they want to be product testers, whatever you can do to just get the word out there about what you're doing so that people can follow and support you, because people want to, but we have to give them an open door to do that. So just find something to be urgent about in this season, even if it seems small to you, make it a big deal and put it out there so that people can support you and follow along, and make the decision to do it. And I think that you will be surprised. So I hope I said everything I should have said. Be excited, be urgent. And that is all I'm going to say. And I'm going to pass it over to Emily, I believe.
I'm going to interrupt just for 3 seconds and just prove the point that you just made about urgency. You guys, as you know, the gummies have a 2 to 3 week delay right now. And last Wednesday, we found out that they were going to be back ordered or sold out or whatever. That's what they told us at the time. And this weekend, just to put it in numbers for you, this weekend as a team, we had 35 enrollments. So all day yesterday, all day today, we had 35 enrollments as a team. In the 48 hours, finding out about the gummies selling out, we had 151. Same time frame, in 5 times as many customers when we found out gummies were going to back order. So that should tell you that you don't need to wait for a product to go back ordered. You have to find a way to bring that urgency to people every day. So 2 to 3 week wait, who cares? You guys, people are still ordering gummies every day with a 2 to 3 week wait because people want a hot product. So as long as you're setting expectations about it, and again, it doesn't have to be just gummies, but think about how you talk to people during those 48 hours and find a way to talk to people about the opportunity and about the products like that all the time. Okay, continue, Emily or Tiffany, whoever was going next. I can't remember.
I'm up next. It's me. Okay, so I feel like I have so much that I want to say to you guys, and I was like practicing, and then I always get on here and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say any of that. So here we go. Just like bear with me as I like collect my thoughts. But so Cassie had talked a little bit about like talking about your goals and how people need to know what you're going after. And so I'm going to piggyback off what Cassie was saying. I really truly believe, you guys, that a lot of times people fail in this industry because they're scared to start small. They're scared to like talk to people about the little wins that they're going after. But a lot of us don't join this business like Ashley Sinclair saying, I'm going to make $1 million, right? Like a lot of us join in because we just want to be able to buy our kid basketball shoes, or we want to put them in dance class, or we want to be able to pay for gas and not be, riding into work on fumes. And so we have to remember that starting small is the key. That's what people are going to be relating to. So we can't be fearful of putting small goals out there, because more people will relate to that than they will you saying, I'm going after a $10,000 bonus. So the next thing that I want to ask you guys to do is drop in the chat, what is your goal? Like, what are you working towards? And if you would drop that in the chat for me, that would be super helpful. 2,000 a month. This is going really slow. You guys got to type faster. Travel. Okay, buying a house, top 100. So I think that this is so perfect. Okay, so diamond, financial freedom. So what I want to point out to you guys is that if we were to go to anybody else and say to them, I want to be a diamond with my company, or we post and we say, I'm going for double, or we post and we say, these really broad things to our network, people are going to look at that and they're going to be like, I don't even know what that means. Right? If a random person from social media came to you and they said, what are you working towards? And you said diamond, would they have any idea what that means outside of this circle? Probably not. So it's very important for us to cast a vision that is beyond a promotion or a title, because a lot of people aren't going to understand what that promotion or that title means. And so I want you to think about, when you are casting a vision for your business, you need to think about the things that you're fearful of. Like, are you fearful of missing out on time with your family? Are you fearful that you're not going to have enough money at the end of the month to pay your rent or your mortgage? You have to think about, am I fearful of not being able to pay for Christmas for my kids? I mean, you insert the blank, whatever that blank is there, whatever is on your mind that you keep thinking over and over and over again. Like, I wish I could just do this, but I can't. My circumstances right now aren't letting me do what I want to do. Okay, that's a vision. That's something that's put on your heart. That's something that you want to achieve and you want to go after. And people are going to want to get behind that and want to support that much more than they're going to support you saying you want to be a certain promotion or you want to earn a certain bonus. So think about that. Think about the things of where you were yesterday and where you want to be tomorrow, and how you can show up differently, how you can show up better, how you can show up as more refined. And then think about how, if you want to become a leader for other people, if you want to pave that path for other people, how are you going to show up for yourself? What books are you going to read? What are you going to study? What kind of things are you going to be putting into your ears? And then pray over it. I am a huge believer in prayer. I'm a huge believer in affirmations and declarations. I'm a huge believer in journaling. There's power in the words that you speak over your life. And when you are casting vision, if all you're doing is saying it in your own head, you will give up on yourself because there's no accountability there. And it's so funny to me. I tell my team this, and I tell social media this too, and it sounds so silly because we are often called to get out of our comfort zones in this industry. And so if I were to ask you right now, like, start shaking, move your head, like take a deep breath and let it go, how many of you would do it? right? If I said, do these things, do these crazy things, stand up, jump around, scream and shout, there would be people on this Zoom that would be like, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. That's so insane. But it is scientifically proven that if you feel like you are in a rut, you need to stand up and you need to move. You have to take action. And so when you are put in these situations where you're like, man, I can't put that goal out there. I can't say these things. I don't want anybody to know that I am struggling. Guess what? The best things ever are on the other side of the thing that you fear the most. So be bold and be brave and going after what you want, because it's not selfish. It is not selfish. What is selfish is you keeping those dreams and desires and those tools that God has given you for you to succeed and for you to pave a path, and you not use them. That's what's selfish. So don't be scared to go after those goals. I wanted to share with you too that when you're casting a vision over your business, over your life, over your families, whatever area that you want to pick, there has to be feeling attached to that. And this is like the only time that I am like a-okay with being really harsh with myself. And here's what I mean. One of my goals for being a part of this business was that my husband and I would be able to sponsor kids who want to go on missions trips. And there will be times where I'm laying down in my bed and my alarm clock will go off and it's 4:30 in the morning. And I'm like, I could totally sleep in. I could totally sleep. Like, my kids aren't going to miss me. Like, I'll still wake up before them, or I can get to my work later. And I have to be harsh with myself and say, if you choose not to get up right now, you're deciding that that kid that you said you were going to sponsor doesn't get to go on his missions trip this year. And that gets my butt out of bed, right? Like, I'm not going to give up on that kid. It's not his fault. It's my fault for not showing up. And so it's okay for you to set a goal and then be hard on yourself about it. Because if I want to sleep in, that's fine. There's literally nothing wrong with me sleeping in. But if I choose to sleep in and not get the work done that I said I was going to do, then I'm not following through with the vision that I set for myself. And the same goes true with you guys. So I want to give you a couple of areas that are going to be super helpful for you to cast vision for your life. So the first one is faith. Whatever it is that you want to see expand in your faith, you need to have a goal in that. What does that look like for you and for your family? What does that look like for your friendships? What does that look like for the circles of people who are around you? Are they going to be people who are building you up and encouraging you, or are they going to be the ones distracting you from getting towards your dreams? Are they going to have faith in what you're doing? And if they're not, it's okay to set boundaries there. The other area is a personal goal. And that could be waking up early, staying up later, getting on as many Zooms as you possibly can. Your personal goal can have to do with your health. Your personal goal is something that is you. I want to read a book a month, whatever that is, but have a goal that's personal, something that matters to you personally. And then a family goal. So for an example, family dinner is big for us. We pride ourselves in having a family dinner, but life gets busy and that doesn't always happen. And so one of my goals for my family is making sure that we take time as a family to sit around and just be like, hey, how's it going? What's going on? So if we don't have dinner, then that might happen in the car, but we make sure that we spend time together, just chatting, figuring out what's going on in everybody's lives. Another area is your relationship. How do you want to grow with your spouse, with your friends? How do you want to grow with your coworkers? What does that look like? What are your relationship goals? Is it your relationship with yourself? How do you need to treat yourself? How do you need to show up for yourself? How do you need to love yourself differently? Right? We're our own worst critics. And it's so easy for us to berate ourselves when we don't show up in the ways that we should. So is that speaking life over yourself every day? Is it saying I'm worth showing up for? What is that goal when we come to relationships? Other things like travel. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? I know quarantine is a thing still, but things are opening up. Where do you want to go? What are the things that you want to see? What does that look like? It can be a 20-minute away vacation or you're flying across country, but make a goal to get out of your little circle and out of your house. Even for us introverts, it's so important for us to be reminded why home is such a special place. So get out and go explore. The other is business. Obviously, we all know we want to make millions of dollars, right? Like that's the ultimate goal, right? But have small goals, have bite-sized goals that you can achieve daily that you can be so proud of. So if that's getting through your daily 6 list, if that's reaching out to 100 people that day, if that's cheering on your leaders, whatever that looks like, have business goals. And then the last is have financial goals, right? It's like I said in the beginning, you can have a goal of being diamond, but what does that mean to you? What does diamond mean? Does diamond mean that you get to stay home? Well, why does that matter? Why does you getting to stay home matter? Is it so you can have more time freedom? Is it so you can be around when your kids say their first words? Is it so that you can pull the kids out of school when they're not feeling well and that you can be there for them? And if you don't have kids, what does that mean for you? Is it paying off student debt? Well, why does paying off debt matter? You have to dive deep into that and you have to peel back those layers, because I tell you, this is so true. At the beginning of the year, what does everybody do? They set resolutions, right? They set goals for their year. And then by the time February hits, they're elbows deep in a box of Cheez-Its and they're stuffing their faces with Oreos because the goals that they set for themselves are unobtainable. And it's not that they're unattainable, it's that they bite off more than they can chew. So it's important for us to take small bites of the things that we want to achieve. So break them down, break down why it's important for you, and then get your butt out of bed in the morning and go do it. So I am done. I'm passing it over to Tiffany.
Hey. So I am going to spit y'all so much fire so that we can try to keep this on time. So do not get off, please, please, please don't get off, because there's 2 amazing ladies after me. I promise we will have y'all to the family call ASAP. Mark's always late, so it's not a big deal. I am going to talk to y'all about comparison. If you have ever, business or personal, compared yourself to someone else, business or personal, drop a 2 in the comments below. It's normal, guys. We are freaking human. And I'm going to give you 2 different scenarios, personal and business, really quick before I dive in. But, God put me on an infertility journey. 7 years it took us to have our son, and it was freaking hard. Everywhere I looked, people were just popping up pregnant, just left and right, left and right. I mean, I had one friend that went through 3 pregnancies. It was hard to compare my body to their body. It was hard. And that is something that took me a good while to realize that I was placed on this journey for a reason. God trusted me with this journey, and my journey looked different than their journey. But guess what? It didn't make me any different than them. It didn't make me any less worthy than them. My journey just looked different. Guys, I promoted really fast in this business. I went diamond in 4 months. Guess what? I stayed there for 2 years. And it wasn't due to lack of not working. I was always a top enroller, always working really hard, always showed up to my business. But I stayed at Diamond for 2 years. Again, looking left and right, wondering, why, God? Why? This person's promoting to double, this person's promoting to triple, this person's promoting here and here and here. And it wasn't my time. And it was really, really hard to watch. But now I know, isn't it funny? Like once that happens and you get to where you want to go, you kind of look back and you go, okay, God, I get it now. Like I see what you were doing, because what happened was I wasn't ready. I was not ready to lead a double, triple presidential team. And God knew that. I didn't know that, but God knew that. And that is something that you have to trust your process. And you have to realize that everyone's journey is going to look different. If you are a diamond and above in this Zoom right now, will you drop below how long it took you to get to diamond? How long did it take you to get to diamond? There's a year, 9 months. It's kind of slow. A year. I was going to say everybody's journey looked different, but that's pretty much the same. 90 days. Mine was 4 months. I understand that it's hard to look left. And the same thing with your 6 customers, the same thing with enrollment. It's hard to see other people just like booming, 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 but you don't know what is going on behind the scenes. You can not even compare someone like your beginning to someone else's middle. You cannot do that. There was another thing I saw today that says you cannot measure your progress with someone else's ruler. Like, how true is that? Like, every single person, God created every single person different. Every single journey is going to look different. Comparison is the biggest thief of your journey, but the greatest distraction of your time. If you just take away just a smidge of it, like, stop comparing yourself because you're wasting your time. That's time that you could be moving forward, but you're stuck comparing yourself to other people. Like I said, you are not witnessing every single thing that people are doing behind the scenes. You're just seeing their wins. You're just seeing their highlight reel. You may see booms left and right. You may see me, for example, like on the top enrollers list, but you don't know what all I'm doing behind the scenes. I'm not just working an hour a day. I'm showing up more than that. And that's not to say that you have to, but you cannot compare apples to apples, okay? You can admire someone else's journey without questioning your own. And I think that that's really important for every single person to remember in this business. Is there is absolutely nothing wrong with it admiring other people's journey. Every single one of y'all are so unique, but don't question your own, okay? Comparison will not strengthen anything other than your insecurities. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Your sideline success is not your failure. Remember that. That's not, when you see someone promote, that's not your failure. That's their time. Your time is coming. All flowers bloom differently, guys. The moon and the sun shine at the same time, just different times, right? They both shine though. And you're going to shine too. The only thing that's going to make you not shine is if you give up, if you quit, if you don't stay consistent. That's it. You will succeed in this business. When? That's God's journey. That's God. He has a path laid out just for you, but trust the process. I know it's hard. I get that. I'm pushing for top 100 right now. That's my goal. It was my goal last year too, guys, and even the year before. But I'm not going to give up till I get there. But there's girls that come in this business and within 15 months to 2 years, they're already there. But that doesn't mean that I'm any less worthy and you're not any less worthy of your goal. So stop looking left and right and just look forward and admire the journey that you're on, because everyone's journey will look different. It will not look the same. Okay. So do me a favor, drop it in the chat really quick. I will not compare myself to others. That's all I want to hear. I will not compare myself to others. And I am going to shoot this over to Alyssa.
Okay, I'm going to try and go really quick. I wrote some stuff down, so I don't know what number we're on. If we're on number 4 or 5 or whatever, but I want you to, after you're writing the compare thing, drop a 5 in the chat if you have life going on right now. You can even get deeper with it if you want to share what kind of life you have. We've done this on a couple other Zooms, so just so you can feel not alone, because we all have stuff going on. So you can kind of see, look at all those 5s coming in, like everybody. I can drop 5 right now, but I can't while I'm talking. Too distracting. So look at that. You're not alone with that, right? Like, we all have stuff going on. So, and I'm sure even those of you who did not share also have stuff going on. So now, okay, I'm going to say this, and I don't want to come off harsh. And if you're dealing with like death or terminal illness or anything like in that realm of tragedy, I'm not talking to you, but hear me out, write this down if you have to. Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. And by that, I mean, nobody cares about your goals as much as you do. Nobody cares about that you want to bring your husband home more than you do. Nobody cares that you want to stay home with your kids more than you do. Nobody cares that you're not showing up for your business like more than you do. So if you're not showing up for your business, how is anyone going to know the goals that you're going for if you don't even care enough about it to tell that to people? And how are people supposed to care about your promotion or your goals or help you with like getting orders or anything like that if you're not talking about it yourself? Like, you have to show that you care for other people to care with you, because if you're not taking your business seriously, you're not showing up consistently, nobody's going to care about that. So now, how many of you started for all of these reasons, like you want to stay home or bring your kids home from daycare or whatever it may be, but then you also use those same excuses not to work your business. Like, I feel like a lot of the time people use the reasons why they started as excuses not to work. So I just want to, nobody is coming to save you. So you have to save yourself and prioritize your time to make the sacrifices for time here and there, because I think a lot of the time when you're brand new and you're putting in all this work, and it's a lot of work at the beginning, but the beauty of this industry is it's hard work at the beginning, so that later on down the road, you won't have to work as hard and you're making a lot more money. So you can have all the time freedom that you want. You can go on vacations and your business is going to work for you, because you're going to grow in leadership and teach other people how to lead their own teams. So eventually, if you need to take them, you could take a month vacation, or if you need to whenever I broke my leg in August, if people don't know that, I didn't work for, I did work. I was still showed up for my business and stuff, but I took a couple weeks off because I was kind of in and out of on meds and stuff. And I still made a higher paycheck that month than I did the previous month, because I had showed up for my business consistently over time. So it was still, my business was still running without me. So that's what you get to look forward to, as long as you put in the hard work, especially in the beginning. Especially like Alyssa said, if you're still within your first year, you're still a baby in the industry. I feel like people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5. If you just keep consistently daily action and learning. And that's another thing. Like if you've started and you haven't even picked up a book since you've started, you start reading books, because that's just going to grow your mindset and help you learn things. Like I always say, I always look at the first year of this business, like freshman year of college, you're just bopping around, kind of figuring things out. And your goal in your first year is just to still be here within a year from now, because you're just going to be learning so much. I read in a book before, it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at anything. So I think if you did 4 hours a day of learning for, a whole year, that's 7 years until you're an expert. So just think about that. And most people who are in this business for 7 years become millionaires, 5 to 7 years or something like that. So that's the average, with consistent action every day and learning every day. So you got to get those 2 things. Even if you talk to one new person a day, look at that. Alyssa became a millionaire in 7 years. See, facts or stats or facts, whatever you want to say, but it'll come for you and she's very consistent. Alyssa's been consistent this whole time. So it's just I was saying, if you can talk to even just one new person a day, how long does it take to talk to one new person? 15 minutes? Even if that's all you do one day, it's better than nothing at all, because people want to see you being consistent. And you can even, show up on your story. That is not a hard thing to do. And I think, I have my notes here, 1 second. I just got up on a roll and lost my spot in my notes. The things that create success in the long run don't look like they're having any impact in the short run. And that's another thing, that if you can take all the action you want, but if you haven't picked up a book, I already said that part. The reason why people are not successful is because they don't see the return right away. So they stop doing the things that will make them successful in the long run. So just stop using your excuse or your reasons as an excuse, and just show up every day, no matter what, knowing that if you keep going, the stuff is going to pay off for you. And like Emily was saying, if the reason why you started isn't a big enough reason for you to show up every day, then you need to dig deeper and ask yourself why, 5 times. Like she was saying, why do you want to earn this business or earn this bonus? What is the bonus going to do for you? What is that going to do for you? And just get it down to the point where you're coming to tears because you need this so bad. And that's going to give you the inspiration to wake up every day and get out of bed. So that was me talking very fast. Kirsten is the last one, and I'm going to hand it over to her.
Hi guys. To be honest, I'm kind of at a loss of what to talk about right now, because everyone just hit everything head on the nail. So one quote that I always love hearing is, no one is you and that is your power. Literally. I tell this to my 11-year-old stepson, because he always says things and I'm just listen, if everything was perfect or everything was the same, it would be a pretty boring life, in all honesty. And so for me, since being in this business, I've been in this business for, it's just been 3 years in February. I have learned that the more I've kind of put myself out there, the more that I've kind of grown confidence in this business, I've affected people in such a better way, instead of trying to fit in completely, because people need somebody to relate to. People need someone that, if they haven't gotten that confidence yet, or they're still stuck in a rut in their life, they need that person that's going to be someone that they wake up every single day and they're going to go to their profile and they're going to say, okay, what kind of motivation does she have for me today? Or somebody needs some kind of positive light. And I say this right now, especially guys, we all said, how crazy was 2020, right? And 2021 didn't quite start off the way that we all kind of hoped it would be. But for me, all I kept thinking was, and this is what I tell a lot of people too, is if I can affect one person, even if it's one person an entire year, and I've done something to completely change their life, then I have done my job in this business. Because here's the thing, guys, when we started this business, this was for us for finances or for specific reasons as to why you started, right? And then as you go through this business, you're now attached to other people on your team, right? And so now your goals are becoming their goals. But for me, the third thing that it's turning into is it's now this business has become a platform where I can affect a larger group of people, not just entirely through this business, but things that I've learned because of being in It Works, because of learning personal development, because of being a part of a team such as this. I can use that, and it's changed so many other aspects of my life. And so, you're always going to have negative opinions. And honestly, guys, growing up, I used to let so many people dictate my life because of their opinions, because I was afraid to go against what they were saying. I was terrified of not doing what somebody told of me. And I'm very much a people pleaser. And so I let all these negative opinions and these things I didn't necessarily want to happen, I did them anyways because I was so afraid to go against the norm. How many of us was that one thing that may have been your super fear of joining this business is because this is considered an abnormal thing nowadays? Like, this is a little bit of a abnormal job. But the thing is, guys, I've learned that pushing past that abnormal thing, pushing past those negative opinions and becoming my own sort of confidence, it has made a gigantic difference in my business and a gigantic difference in my life. And so these negative opinions, they're not going to pay my bills. And so I don't use these negative opinions as a way to harm me. I use them as like, well, you know what? You can hate me all you want, but I'm going to be over here having success, and you can be over here hating on me, finding everything to like not necessarily like me, but be jealous because I'm over here and you're still here. Do you understand? And so for me, that's, going back to what Cassie said, have a starting point. We all started somewhere, but we now are in this journey. And so one thing that I like to talk about while being in this business and talking about, how much this business has done financially for me, it's changed me. It saved me. And people need to hear that. Like, guys, I have fought with depression my entire life. And you can even ask a few of these girls that I've gotten to know since they started the business. I'm a completely different person now than when I started. I had still hated myself when I started. I had let so many people talk me out of so many things. And I am here a way better, way stronger person because of these people on this screen right now, because of what this business has taught me. And so even if you've just started a week ago and you're still really scared, I promise you that not only are you going to gain so much from these finances, but you are going to learn so many more things about yourself. It is absolutely unreal. You're going to find that person that you have been begging for. And people need to see that side of what this business can do for you. People need to see that this business has given you a new passion, a new purpose. This is my niche. I told Alyssa at one retreat that I went to, I was bawling when we got there. I was like, I have never been able to be in a group of women who actually liked me, who actually wanted to be around me. Like, I had always felt like this outcast being surrounded by girls. I was a girl that could be friends with guys, but for some reason when it came to girls, it just didn't work. And so for her, I realized that I was like finding where I was supposed to be. I was finding a place where I belong. And all of this combines into your finances, into talking about what this business can do for people, guys. But that one time that you may think that you just can't think of what to post, or you just don't feel like posting, or you're just not feeling it that day, I guarantee you that day you decide not to post could have been the day that someone needed to see your post, that somebody needed to see you talk about the business, or somebody needed you to post about a product. Because just like every single person has said so far in this Zoom, we are doing every single person a disservice by not telling them our experiences in an entirety of what we have felt since starting to where we are now. Regardless if you started 2 days ago, I guarantee you there's been some differences since you started. And so for me, guys, I always try to tell myself, like, okay, who was I when I started and who am I now? Okay. That's a huge thing too. People again want to know like where did I start and how have I come since then? And so I have shown people like this business is something that can go into your already life. So don't stop talking about the things that still make up who you are. But this is a way to promote that part of yourself even more. Does that make sense? So for me, I'm a mom. I'm a boy mom. You know, I've gone through 2 pregnancies. I'm currently 3 months postpartum. So I have all these other aspects of life that I can tie in through this business. Guys, people want to see that. They want to see someone to relate to. They want to see the real and raw. A lot of times Instagram and Facebook are just highlight reels. And that's where that comparison game comes in. You know, they see these people having these perfect lives, but you don't know what's behind the screen. And so for me personally, I try to pull a little bit of that. I try to pull a little bit of my real and raw. I try to pull a little bit of I'm a hot mess mom, or I had a real bad day and I just about pulled my hair out, or I'm like, I need like 3 bottles of wine tonight because that's just been my day. But people want to see that, guys. You have to have fun with this business. You can't just think it works, it works, it works. You have to have fun with this business. And that is what I tell like all of my distributors is I can literally teach you about the business, but I can't teach you about your own life. Like you have to remember who you are, where you came from, because again, that is how people are going to relate to you. That is how they're going to watch you, whether they're commenting on your post or not, or they're liking, or they're commenting on your stories. People are going to watch you until they feel comfortable, until they trust you enough to either join you in your business or join you with your products. And I know I probably took up way too much time. I'm just like over here trying to figure out like what to talk about. But guys, one thing I want to leave you with, a task that I did, I think it was when we did our 90 days this past fall, it was to write a promise letter to yourself. And this was something that I put all over my house. And I don't know, for those of you that may have been in the 90-day Facebook page, you probably remember me doing this task, but it was a letter and I literally wrote it to myself, talking to myself. And you guys can do this. It's really helped me because it basically was like me, in a sense, yelling at my own self saying, you better step up or you're not going to get to where you want to be. And guys, I am in a completely different spot than when I wrote that letter. And if it hadn't been for that letter, and if it hadn't been for these people constantly reminding me of that letter and of exactly where I wanted to be by this point, I wouldn't be here. And so basically, I don't want to read the whole thing because I know we're running out of time, but it basically said, you are entirely up to you. So here's what you're going to promise. I have it right here, like behind my computer. So I see it every time I come down here. But it's saying like, I promise I will do this. Or I say, you know, why must I promise this to myself? Why will you do this? And it said, because I wanted double before Christmas. I didn't get double, but you know what? That's okay. Because I am in a way better place this time, so much better place this time. And it basically said, it says, enough is enough. So right now you are also promise yourself to read this letter out loud every single day. You will also say, I am brave, I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am capable, I am a double diamond, I'm a leader of leaders, and I'm a badass boss babe. No one is you, and that is your power. Say, I promise, and now let's make this shit happen. Love, me. And I signed it. Guys, do that letter, do something, the affirmations, write them on your mirror, write them on a sticky note, do something, because I promise you guys, all these things that we have told you tonight, you will literally look back in a month, 2 months, 3 months, if you stay consistent with this, and you will be thanking us every single day from now on. If you just trust us, trust this business, and just do the dang thing. Okay, I'm done.
All right, I think that's it for tonight. Hopefully I didn't leave anyone off. I appreciate you guys being on. Ladies, thank you for sharing some fire tonight. I am gonna leave you with one last little thing. And if I can find it. Oh, actually, I wanted to, sorry, didn't kind of come out the way I was going to have it. But to go off of what Kirsten said, just about relating to people, making sure that you're being yourself. I saw that your direct sales business should be the least interesting thing about you. So when people come to your page, they need to see what you're passionate about and not just products and business. People want to connect with you. They want to see you as a person. They want to see you growing, not just growing a paycheck, but growing as a person. They need to be able to see a change in you. And the only way that you come across that change is by showing up, getting involved, getting on these Zooms, doing the personal development, because when you change here, your paycheck will change along with it. And I know there's so many ladies on here that just spoke tonight, and other people that didn't get to speak tonight that are walking proof of that very thing, that when they grew here, their paycheck grew, and it doesn't always happen at the same time. So even like Tiffany was saying earlier, like she thought she was ready long before it happened, but there was a lot of growth that happened and the rank followed. So we often say sometimes the E-suite is just a little bit behind, but you got to do the work in your head first. So keep showing up, keep relating to people, and keep being on Zooms and plugging into your sponsor, you guys. It's month end. So let's go get on the Sunday night call, get filled up for the week, plan out your content, and then hit it hard for the next few days with host to post and follow up and all the fun stuff leading into April. And we will see you guys this week.